Man, I gotta reset. I gotta reset. We have to get back to the frequency we know and love. The consistency we have had has been really, really good at Stone International Airport, but man, we gotta reset. We gotta find some new answers, and man, I just feel like a new spark is what we need. I feel like we're doing good right now after a thorough assessment, but man, we got to reset. We got to get back to our A game, and we got to keep innovating to stay at the top of the league. Man, we got to keep innovating. That's our only choice right now. I think it is our best choice. It's going to be interesting to see where we go from here, but I'm going to go make some phone calls, go talk to some people, go make some adjustments because, man, I feel like some new frequency, some new life. Despite what we have going right now, being top in the nation, we have to continue innovating to be the best that we can be. And it's going to be interesting to see where we go from here. But man, we just got to keep innovating. That's our only choice right now, and it's going to be super interesting to see how it unfolds. So let's just go do what we do best. We'll figure it out. And man, despite all this, I feel like we got it going. Where it's going to be interesting to say the least, but we got to go get after it. Let's go do it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. Today we have Season 2's Episode 15 of Storyline International Airport updates for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. We have a loaded Stone International Airport update for you guys, and I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. Of course, a very bittersweet episode today. This is going to be the final episode of Season 2 for Storyline International Airport. I really hope you guys are excited for it. We have one final amazing update with so many amazing planes, and we have so many great things to come. I'll be doing some talking towards the end of the video, of course, and I hope you guys are excited for it nevertheless. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video, and let's get into Season 2 of Stone International Airport for the final time. This is going to be very sentimental to say the least, but let's get started. Currently taking off right here on 3-3 right, you're going to find the United Airlines Boeing 787-9 making a very rare substitution. This was originally going to be a 757 flight from Houston, and then it continued over to Los Angeles, but they did upgrade it to the 787-9 due to a ton of demand last minute. I believe there's a couple sports teams trying to get on board, so really excited to see that. So that is where he's heading out to right now. Very nice. The Delta Airlines Airbus A220 is currently making a nonstop flight in from Detroit and will continue out to Minneapolis, St. Paul. Both routes going very strong right there for Delta. The absolutely beautiful NG models 1-400 scale American Airlines Boeing 757-200 in the chrome livery is looking absolutely stunning. This guy's making a nonstop service today in from Los Angeles and will continue out to Phoenix Sky Harbor, looking absolutely awesome. We're going to start over here with Terminal B for this final update because there's a lot of great planes over here and we have a ton to go through. So we're just going to start over here with Terminal B, so let's get started. Here we go with the regional jet ops. We have several aircraft in today's update. We begin right here with the Delta Connection Bombardier Acer Day-200. This guy's making a new service out to Montreal today after coming in earlier from Toronto. Very nice. The CRJ-700 is currently coming in from Washington Reagan National and will continue out to Hilton Head. The Embraer ERJ-170 is currently coming in from Jacksonville and will continue out to Syracuse. The CRJ-900 is currently turning in after a nonstop flight in from, let's see here, trying to see if there's any new routes I want to add to the mix. We'll go with Providence for this guy nevertheless, and he's going to be heading out to Grand Rapids. This CRJ-700 is making a new service out to Langston, Michigan after coming in earlier from Lexington, Kentucky, also some new services. And lastly, the CRJ-900 is currently coming in from Jacksonville and will continue today over to Buffalo. Very nice. The beautiful Delta Airlines Airbus A350-900 is currently taxiing out with the nonstop service today out to Amsterdam Schiphol International Airport after coming in earlier from Paris. Both routes have been going very well for Delta, and it's really cool to see how much success they've had on those routes over the course of Storyline. It's been very nice here at Stone International Airport. This Delta Airlines Airbus A330-300, very excited to use this model. It's a really nice one. This guy's currently coming in from Cape Town, which is a really cool new service here, kind of reflecting real life events. And he's going to be heading back out there as well. Very nice. Alrighty guys, I apologize about that, my bad. So right here we have the Delta Airlines Boeing 717. This guy's currently coming in from Cincinnati and will continue out to Orlando. The Delta Airlines Airbus A220-300 is currently coming in from Fort Lauderdale and will be heading out to on a very long flight to Seattle, which is very nice for him. I think that's within range. If not, I apologize, but it is the last update after all. Let's make it really fun. This Delta Airlines 757-200 is currently pushed back from nonstop service out to Atlanta on the, let's send him out to Portland following that. Coming in from Atlanta, heading out to Portland. Very nice. This Delta Airlines Airbus A320 is currently making the nonstop flight today in from Salt Lake City, a longer flight for him. He'll continue out to Tampa, Florida for us today. Delta Airlines 757-300 is currently coming in from West Palm Beach, a really cool route right there. He'll continue today out to Salt Lake City as well. The SkyTeam 757-200 right here from Delta is currently making a nonstop flight today in from Las Vegas. He's going to have a continuing service today over to Sorry, guys, I put quite a few aircraft in for this update. I apologize. For him, let's say that he's going to be making a very cool flight out to Houston. So Houston's now been upgraded to 757, which is very cool for him. So this guy's heading out to Houston today. The thank you Delta Airlines Airbus A321 is currently coming in from Dallas-Fort Worth as a new route, which is very nice. Once daily A321. He'll have a continuing flight today back out to, let's go with, sorry guys, Birmingham for some maintenance. Very nice. Delta Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the SkyTeam livery is currently coming in today from Detroit on another service. And he's going to have a continuing flight today out to Los Angeles. Lastly, you have the Delta Airlines Boeing 767-300ER. This guy's currently making a nonstop service today in from, I'm going to think of a really good international route here. Let me think if I can think of any off the top of my head. I apologize. Should have had this already organized. Let's say this guy's coming in from Los Angeles earlier today. He's going to have a nice long continuing service today out to, we'll go with Rome to finish it off for Delta. Very nice. The United Airlines section, for the most part, stayed relatively consistent through Season 2, but here we go with the Boeing 737-800 coming in from Houston. Did I use Houston? I think I did. We'll say Chicago O'Hare heading out to Denver. The 757-300 is currently heading out to Chicago O'Hare, and he came in earlier from Washington Dulles on a very interesting flight right there, but that's a pretty cool one. And lastly, the United 730 or Airbus A319, excuse me, cannot see it today. This guy's currently making a flight today in from Newark, and will continue out to Cleveland. Alrighty, so the I don't even know what you would want to call this section. This is kind of just a little bit of everything from Canada and Mexico, but really cool to see right here. We have the Aer Lingus Airbus A321neo making its debut. This is really cool. This guy's currently coming in from Dublin. He's going to be heading back out there very soon. That is a once daily A321neo. Very nice. The Volaris Airbus A321neo is currently coming in from Guadalajara on the turnaround, which is also a very cool service right there. The Viva Aerobus Airbus A321neo is currently coming in from Mexico City and will be heading back out there. The Aeromexico 737-800 is currently coming in from Mexico City, and he's going to have a continuing flight out to Cancun, which is a new route for them, which is very nice. The WestJet 737-800 is currently coming in from Calgary and will continue out to Vancouver. The Swoop 737-800, new airline for the airport. This guy's also coming in from Calgary, but he's going to have a continuing flight out to Edmonton, which is a cool route. Apologies about the jet bridge, but we have the Air Canada Rouge Airbus A321. This guy's coming in from Toronto and will continue today over to go to Vancouver for him too. And lastly, we have the Peach Airbus A320 running the shuttle to Washington, D.C. Very nice. So really nice lineup here at Terminal B. It looks really good, and we finished it out strong because that's what we do around here. So looking very good there for that section. We'll actually deviate and start over here with some cargo stuff since the lighting's nice right now. So we have the UPS Boeing 747-400 freighter. This guy just got done loading up. He just got, that last 10 just came off, so it was an accidental mistake right there. But he's about to get the pilots boarded right there, as you guys can see. This guy's making a nonstop flight today out to Anchorage. He came in earlier from Louisville, looking very nice. The UPS 767-300 freighter is currently coming in from Chicago Rockford, and we'll have one final flight for the 767 today out to Ontario. And the FedEx Express McDonald's MD-11 freighter is currently making the flight in from Memphis, as per usual, of course, and he's going to have a continuing flight out to Miami. The ATR-72, of course, running the 13 colonies run one final time. I hope to make something very creative in upcoming storyline and fictional airport stuff, which I'm very excited to talk about in this update. And the Primera 737-800 is currently making a nonstop flight today in from Cincinnati. And we'll say they've developed a lot throughout these seasons. He's going to be making a flight today over to, let's go with Lexington, Kentucky. A very interesting new route for them, but I think it's a cool one for sure. The United Airlines 737 MAX 8 is currently coming in from Tampa, Florida. And he's going to have a continuing flight today over to San Francisco. There it is. Very cool route for that aircraft. The absolutely beautiful Qatar Airbus A350-1000, that international lineup though. This guy just got done loading up at the Concourse. He's currently making the non-stop return flight back up to Doha in Qatar, of course. Let me know which pronunciation you guys prefer for me, Qatar or Qatar, but I'll do my best to make it desired. This Boeing 777 is just hanging out. He's just doing some testing. There's some really cool flags, the initial 777s on there. Kind of hard to see those icons, but it looks like we may have JAL and maybe Emirates and different ones on there, maybe some PIAs and different airlines like that. But nevertheless, this guy's just doing some testing around the area, as per usual with those house livery aircraft. The American Airlines Airbus A321 is currently taxiing out to the active runway. This guy's a non-stop service today out to Seattle. This guy came in earlier today from San Jose in California. Panning over, we'll move into Concourse A next. Sorry, my shadow's getting the better of me here. The Primair Boeing 767-300 freighter is also taxiing in. This guy came in from Los Angeles and will continue out to Cincinnati for us today. We will do the Korean on the other side, but there's probably the best view we're going to get of it, so just keep that in mind, but we'll do it with all the others. The Iceland Air 757-200 is currently loading up over here for its return flight out to Reykjavik, Keflavik. Of course, they come into the domestic concourse, as you guys saw in the last update, but that's where he's heading out to right now, so very nice. Let me see if I can get on the other side. Not the best. I'll get a better view if I can here in a minute. But we have the beautiful American Airlines Boeing 777-200ER in the breast cancer awareness livery. This guy's making a non-stop service today in from Los Angeles. He's going to have a continuing flight today out to, let's finish out on a bang. American's going to start service out to Hong Kong. Very interesting route from here, but I think it's a really cool way to finish it out. So he's heading out to Hong Kong today. The Alaska 737 MAX 9 is currently coming in from Portland and will continue out to San Francisco. Yes, you guys are probably wondering, why no Seattle for Alaska in the final update? Well, changing it up a little bit. There it is. The American Eagle Embraer ERJ-175 on the behalf of Public Airways is currently making a non-stop flight today in from Birmingham, Alabama. It's going to have a continuing flight out to Tulsa, Oklahoma, because you guys know that I had to do that. You guys are probably surprised I didn't do it on MD-80, but there it is. American Airlines, McDonald's MD-80 in the TWA hybrid livery. This guy, there's a lot of these in here, so if I kind of run out of routes, I apologize. Say this guy's coming in from Charlotte. We'll continue out to Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. American Airlines McDonald's MD-83, currently making the nonstop flight today in from Chicago O'Hare. It's going to have a continuing flight out to Miami. The American Airlines 727, so glad to get this in the airport update. This guy's making the return service today on the turnaround flight out to, let's go with Orlando. I thought I had something on the tip of my tongue, but I kind of lost it, so we'll say Orlando for him. And then we have a beautiful lineup. I'm just going to kind of do it from this perspective because it looks really nice and I kind of like it. And just look at all this beautiful planes. So you have the beautiful Flagship Freedom pair, because I know you guys would know me for that meme, so I had to integrate these. If you guys don't know, about 3 years ago now, I had a really nice video where I made a Flagship Freedom meme, which was really cool. But the American Airlines 757-200 in the Flagship Freedom livery is currently making a non-stop flight today in from Las Vegas, excuse me. He'll continue today out to Denver, a new route for them, which is really cool, due to the performance why it's on 757. American Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the Flagship Freedom livery is currently making a non-stop flight today in from Kansas City, a new route. Or that one may be a mainline promotion. I'm trying to think of how, I think that's a mainline promotion, my bad. And he's going to head out to St. Louis. The American Airlines McDonald's MD-80 squashed in the middle right there is currently making a non-stop flight today in from New Orleans, and we'll have a continuing flight today out to a very interesting route for American service to Detroit. American Airlines 737-800 in the Chrome livery is currently coming in from, let's say that this guy's coming in from Atlanta, new mainline promotion there too. It's going to be heading out to Austin, Texas. We're here, so we might as well. The Airbus A319 right there is currently making a flight today in Key West. Kind of surprised I don't have the Shotcut on today, but coming in from Key West, we'll continue today out to West Palm Beach. And the Chrome MD-80 there in the background, foreground I should say, whatever you want to call it. No, I think it's background, whatever. Nevertheless, this guy's currently making a flight today in from Miami, and he's going to have a continuing flight today out to Dallas-Fort Worth. The FedEx DC-10, yes, MD-10, DC-10, is currently making a nonstop flight today in from Indianapolis, with the flight today out to Orlando to follow. Alrighty, this McCord C-17 is currently making a really nice long cross country across the U.S. This guy came in earlier today from, let's say, Charlotte, and he's going to be continuing up to Portland, Maine. Very interesting there, but that is what he's doing. The Emirates, that is dope. That was not intentional whatsoever, but that worked out really well. And of course, you have my dang fan back there going in the background. But nevertheless, we have these two beautiful Emirates. These are both heading out to the Dubai and the United of Emirates. The Boeing 777-300ER. That may be one of the final times I get to use it because I'm getting the new Gemini, so that one's really nice. I think it's Echo Papa, and then the A380 back there we'll get in a minute, but just had to get that scene double shot. That is really nice right there. That is really cool. I kind of left it from the previous update, as you guys can tell, so there it is. The American Eagle Embraer ERJ-145 on the behalf of Piedmont Airlines is currently coming in from Columbus and will continue out to Orlando. That's kind of like one of the morning flights. Hawaiian Airlines Airbus A330-200 is currently coming in from Los Angeles, repositioning, and then, well, not repositioning, but he's making the continuing flight, and then he'll make the nonstop back up to Honolulu. Since this is not a bad angle, we'll get that at Chrome 767, of course. This guy's coming in from Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. This is probably out of range, but we're having some fun with it today. This guy's heading out to Honolulu, Hawaii, following that. That's a cool route right there. Yes, that is a JSX Embraer JS135 pulling off the runway. This guy's coming in from Destin Fort Walton Beach, and will be having continuing flight back out there today. Very nice. Normally those don't do turnarounds, or I would have did a turnaround or a non-turnaround for it, but nevertheless, beautiful Southwest Airlines section on both sides. We'll start with actually the weaker side because why not? Okay, Arizona 1737-700 coming in from Tucson, another cool new route. We'll continue out to Phoenix on a turnaround flight. The 737-700 is currently coming in from Baltimore, and will continue out to Dallas Love Field. The 737-800 currently has a continuing service out to Chicago Midway after starting out today in Orlando. The 737-700 is currently coming in from Charlotte and will continue out to Atlanta. Staying on the East Coast right there. California 1 will be also staying in our region. This guy's currently making a flight today out to New LaGuardia, which is a very interesting flight for Southwest. He'll be came in from LaGuardia. We'll say he's continuing today out to Grand Rapids, Michigan. Why not? Southwest 737-800 coming in from Nashville, continuing today out to, say that he's going to be heading out to Tampa. 737-700 Heart livery of split scimitars currently coming in from Las Vegas, service out to Phoenix. Well, sorry, let's go with Albuquerque. 737 MAX 8 is currently coming in from Austin, Texas, continuing out to San Antonio, Texas. 737-700 right there is coming in from Kansas City, and he'll continue today out to Chicago Midway. Lone Star 1737-700 is coming in from Houston Hobby, and we'll continue out to, we'll do El Paso. Normally wouldn't, but it's Lone Star. We have to for this final update. And lastly, a Heart blended 737-700 is currently coming in from Burlington Central, and will continue today out to New Orleans. Very nice. So some new routes there for Southwest, and yes, they've innovated quite well here over the last several months here at Stone International Airport. Here we go for the low-cost side. We'll kind of work back to front. The Sun Country 737-800 is currently making a seasonal flight today in from Grand Rapids, and will continue out to Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. Spirit Airlines Airbus A319 is currently coming in from Detroit, and will continue today out to Fort Lauderdale. And this Airbus A320 is currently coming in from Myrtle Beach, and we'll be heading out to Atlanta because those were the first two routes, so yes. The Frontier Airbus A321 Steve Eagles is currently heading out to Denver after a non-stop flight today in from Miami. Breeze is making their debut with the Embraer 195. This guy actually has some interesting routes. This guy's coming in from Tampa, and he's actually going to have a breeze through. He's heading to Charleston, but he's actually going to be making a stop in Norfolk. So very cool to see that right there for Breeze. That's really nice. So technically, yes, the nonstop is to Norfolk, but they also categorize Charleston as a nonstop, but it just breezes through, if that makes sense. So yes. The Allegiant Air Airbus A320 is currently coming in from Destin Fort Walton Beach, and will continue today over to St. Petersburg. That Frontier Airbus A320 Neo is currently coming in from Chicago Midway with a continuing flight today out to Orlando MCO. The Airbus A319 for Allegiant is currently making a flight today in from Orlando Sanford. And he's going to make a haul. I'm kind of surprised they have this long of a route, but they actually have Phoenix Mesa in the route network now, so he's heading out to Phoenix Mesa. And then for JetBlue, we have their Blueprint Embraer 190. This guy's coming in from, we'll say this guy's coming in from Reagan, continuing out to Orlando. Lots of competition. Airbus A321 in the Ribbons Tail. I think it's the Mint Neo. This guy's coming in from Fort Lauderdale, continuing today out to Los Angeles. Airbus A320 Spotlight Tail is heading out to Newark after coming in from Atlanta. And the Airbus A321 Neo, this is just a normal balloons tail. This guy's coming in from, we'll say Austin, Texas, and he'll be continuing today out to San Francisco. Alrighty, this update's been going, it's been literally flying by. I've not added much narration because I don't want it to feel too bittersweet, just trying to keep the groove flowing. So sorry about the lighting, but I'll get a better view. The A380s have made their debut, so we have the British Airways, Emirates, and the Qantas. Let me just go to the other side, see if I can get a deep, because I want to get the Qantas in there, but let me see if I can get a better angle because the lighting is really solid right now. This is what I have to work with, so yes. There we go, that's looking better. So let me kind of see how far in I can reach here. There we go, that looks better. So the absolutely stunning A380 pair is looking incredible. The British Airways Airbus A380, of course, making the non-stop flight out to London Heathrow today. Flight's been going very well on the upgrade. The Emirates second daily Airbus A380, or second daily flight on the Airbus A380 is heading out to Dubai, of course. The glass jet bridge really makes it look in style. That would be typical for them. And then we have the American Eagles back there. Saying the Embraer 170 for Republic's heading out to Columbus today. He came in from Lexington. The Embraer 145 is currently making the non-stop flight today for Piedmont today out to, let's go with Providence, and came in from Hartford, Connecticut. The CRJ-700 on the behalf of PSA Airlines currently making a repositioning flight out to Reagan after coming in from Destin, and then the CRJ-900 for PSA also is making the flight today in from Jacksonville, and he'll continue today over to Norfolk. And then the Qantas Airbus A380, we'll get a better view here in a minute. This guy's making a non-stop flight today out to Sydney, of course. Alrighty, sorry about that, but here's that better angle. This guy's, of course, heading out to Sydney, like I said, won a unit by Phoenix right here. They did a very good job. The A&R, this is the grand finale, guys. I put in almost all of my heavies. I think I may have left out 1 or 2 airlines, but I wanted to leave some hype for an upcoming project, so that's why. Nevertheless, this A&A Boeing 787-9 making a non-stop flight in the R2D2 livery out to Tokyo, Narita. Turkish new airline has developed. They are flying their Boeing 787-9s out to Istanbul on a daily basis, so that's where he's heading out to, of course. The Air India Boeing 777-300ER is, of course, making the flight out to New Delhi. That flight's been performing very well after coming in, of course, from Stillwater, Oklahoma. So cool, man. What a route that is right there. Once daily. That's a unit, man. That's 7,400-foot runway. That's awesome. The JAL Boeing 787-9, also a new airline at the airport. They actually are competing with ANA. They actually fly out to Tokyo, Haneda, which is very interesting on a daily basis. So that is where he's heading out to today, of course. Very nice to see that. The KLM Boeing 777-300ER is making the nonstop service today in from Amsterdam Schiphol. They'll be heading back out there, of course. Delta also flies a complimentary flight, not necessarily competition, but complimentary. So very nice to see that right there. Lufthansa is all the way at the end today. It's the only gate they can get from Qatar. The service A330-300 is currently coming in from Munich and will continue up to Frankfurt. Lufthansa went really well here. They did a very good job. Lastly, the Korean Air Boeing 777-300ER is currently making the flight in from Seoul, of course, and will continue back out there here in a minute. Very beautiful international lineup. Really excited to continue that in upcoming projects, as we'll talk about here in actually just a moment. And I might as well show you, since that was the last passenger out, here's what my sheet looked like. I had various sheets. In fact, if I had them, I'll show you guys here in a minute, but I had various sheets. So this was the final version, and yeah, it was fairly simple, but I wrote really small on it, so it worked well. But obviously some of those other airlines I didn't need sheets for, but American, Delta, and Southwest, mainly those were the big ones. So the FBO is looking really nice. Here we have a Learjet 75. This guy's currently coming in. So he's doing a turnaround today out to Charlotte. The Challenge 300 is currently coming in from, we've been doing Grand Rapids a lot. Why not another Grand Rapids flight? And this Lear 75 in the greenish colors is currently making a flight today over to, let's go with Little Rock, Arkansas. The Embraer facility is really busy here. Of course, we have the Phenom 300 getting some service. He actually is based here, so that's very nice. The Embraer 175 and the honoring those who serve livery, what a meaningful purpose that livery has. This guy's currently making a non-stop flight today. Back out to Seattle. Everett is actually where he's heading. He got some maintenance done here. He needed some parts, but now he's heading back over there. The American Eagle Embraer ERJ-170 Retro for Envoy is going to be heading back to Chicago here in a few hours after getting some much needed maintenance. And the JetBlue Embraer ERJ-190 finally got refitted, and he's going to be heading back out to New York John F. Kennedy to fly some routes. And this United Express Embraer ERJ-175 is making a much needed service back out to Washington Dulles to continue revenue service out there. And last but certainly not least, to finish it out strong, we have the Delta Airlines hangar looking very good. We have the Airbus A319 currently loading up over there in the foreground. He'll be heading back to revenue service here in just a moment. The Airbus A321 is chilling out. He's going to be having a C-check soon. And lastly, we have this Airbus A321 that brought in Ed Bastian for the grand finale of Storyline Season 2 at Stone International Airport. Very bittersweet moment, guys. This has been a project that I've been honored to work with over the last 2 years. Of course, as you guys know, I went on a very long rant about it in the previous update. But I'll kind of go over it a little bit more in detail, and since I actually know the plans now, because I actually decided I'm filming this the day after I filmed that, and I actually decided what I'm going to do, so I have it a little bit more set, and I'm kind of glad, because I was like, okay, I got 24 hours to think about it. Here we are 24 hours later. I've made my decision on what we're doing, and we're going to roll with it. And we may change from there, but we're at least going to start with this plan. So here she goes. So Storyline Season 2, to begin with, was a pleasure to make for you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm not going to give you guys the full 10 minutes again about why I chose to discontinue, or not end the season where I'm ending it, but mainly because the airport got so big, the realism side of things, and then mono kind of just was a crusher on top of everything. The full spill is in that video, so if you'd like to check it out, you're more than welcome to. July update, episode 14 of Storyline, so feel free to check that out. That's where I go into more detail, but I don't want to go on that spill because there's a lot more progress that I want to talk about. So first and foremost, just want to thank everybody that supported this series. I know that it started back in a very interesting time in April of 2020. I just want to thank you guys so much for supporting it. Obviously, we've not had a season end since March of that year, so it's obviously been a very long time, but it's been very odd because obviously we've only had 3 updates in the last year and a half. So it's been very weird, but nevertheless, I really hope that you guys have understood why it took so long. But nevertheless, I'm super proud that we're finishing it strong. I'm sorry that in these last 2 updates, I kind of just, not necessarily sprinted through everything, but I kind of just went through everything because I'm honestly just kind of heartbroken inside that this airport's ending in this connotation because this is not the ideal way I wanted it to end. You know, I obviously wanted it to be more action-packed with a really fun kind of ending to it, if that makes sense. This kind of got a little bit suppressed compared to what I was envisioning, but I think that just for the sake of what's ahead, it kind of just made sense to do it like this. But nevertheless, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I didn't want to, like go on tangents about things in the future because unfortunately the future was, this is the full lineup. This is what the airport was envisioned to be. And it turned into something absolutely incredible, and I'm super happy that it did. I'm not gonna give the cliche remark, don't be sad because it's over, smile because it happened, because we have a super fun event to go into, or super fun what's next to talk about, because obviously this season, it will be very sentimental. It was an absolutely incredible season. I'm super proud of where it progressed into, and despite it having the rather rough ending that I was hoping it wasn't going to, I still feel like it ended well, and it's not like I completely abandoned it or something. We finished a project we started, and I'm super happy that I was able to do it like this, and I'm so excited for the upcoming projects to come. Speaking of which, that is where we'll dive into, but just want to thank once again everybody that helped voice act. I know that was so many people throughout the last season, so thank you guys, everybody that helped with that. Want to thank all the fans for voting on the votes and the polls, of course, because that really helped dictate the future of the airport. And I promise I'll make that more even interactive, more so than what it was this season coming up. Everybody for supporting. I know that obviously these last 3 episodes probably were not the picture perfect ending, and I apologize about that, but it was tough because I knew that the airport was so big I wasn't going to be able to make it as realistic as I wanted to, and it just kind of fell into this pit that we're in now. But this is it. This is the last few moments, so we have to embrace it and just be so happy for what Storyline turned into, because I think that it was an incredible airport, and I'm so excited to see where it turns from here. So just thank you, everybody, and if I forgot to mention something critical, I apologize, but just thank you to everybody that made it possible. I really appreciate it. Everybody from Detroit Aviation as the narrator to Citrus Aviation as the COO, and everybody for doing the press conferences. And I know SB Aviator in the beginning did that Air Canada 787 diversion, and that's what we're going to be getting back to, is very creative things like that. But there was a lot going on. I unfortunately have so many things that are going on. I didn't have enough time to make this as creative as I wanted to, but luckily we made it there, and that is the exciting part. So very glad that we're in this on a very high note, and I promise that the future is bright ahead. So thank you so much, everybody that made season 2 possible, and season 3 will be absolutely better. So let's talk about season 3, because I'm sure you guys may be curious if you didn't see the previous storyline update. So season 3 is going to be the most realistic storyline airport I've ever put together. I went on a pretty nice tangent about that as well in the previous update, but I will reiterate that because that's kind of more critical than why I'm ending the airport, in my opinion. So the goal of season 3 for Storyline is to be the most realistic airport that I've ever put together. Now, what the plan is we're going to have a start as per usual with about 1 to 2 gates at an airport, but we're going to progress very slowly, but in a very realistic connotation. And this is kind of what I originally wanted to do about three and a half years ago with the original structure of Storyline, was to have it be a very structured based system. And I unfortunately deviated away from that in both seasons, 1 and 2, simply because of how much the airport grew. But I think that this, obviously refreshing my mind on it 4 years later, that was a little bit of exaggeration, but well over 3 years, is really going to help, because there's a lot of things that I wanted to do that unfortunately due to the size I was never able to do. So for instance, multiple things such as, excuse me guys, I apologize. multiple things such as, you know, I want to go very detailed with it and go really in depth with it. For instance, I already think I have some 3D terminals that I'm ready to get purchased and worked on. I'm ready to start working on the board for it, which will include things such, hopefully as small as like taxiway signs, taxiway names. We're going to be very particular with this, and it's going to be really good. Fencing, roads, even restaurants on the side, a spotting observation area, like a full-fledged one, not like the one from season 1, but a more full-fledged one. Speaking of which, cars, I hope that the GSE cones, the plane cones, if you guys know what I'm talking about, service vehicle cars, GPU units. It's going to be the most realistic thing that I've ever tried to put together. And it may not be perfect, but I definitely anticipate that it's going to be much better than, for instance, everything that's on top of that terminal right now. So I'm really excited for that, and I hope you guys are too. And I anticipate that the season goes 15 to 20 episodes, and the airport will grow. I don't know. I've not decided on the structure yet, but I promise that I'll be getting that out to you guys as soon as possible. Hopefully no later than like that October, November time frame, but I honestly don't know how long it will take to A, construct the airport, and B, construct a structure for it, because obviously it needs a structure. I also haven't decided what era I want to start it in. I may start it in like 2010, 2015. Because I probably can get away with that with some of the retro planes that I've acquired as of late. So not completely sure on all those small details, but I'll be sure to keep you guys updated because I'm super excited to see where it goes from here, because it's going to be very exciting and I'm really excited for it. So definitely be on the lookout for that, everybody. It'll be super exciting. So season 3, again, there's a longer tear on it in the previous storyline update, but expect it. I'll go on a bigger rant, or not rant, but a bigger conversation about it in the channel update, which should be coming out either, it possibly already has. There's a good chance that it hasn't too. So be on the lookout for that. It should be coming out anytime, and we'll go into more detail about that plan in the future. So that kind of leaves a weird gap because, you know, obviously I want to have a big airport where I can feature all the planes that don't get their time to shine in the other airports that I do. But I also storyline, the season 3 will be much smaller, so I won't be able to feature some of these planes. And actually, all we're going to be doing is pretty much an extension of this. So if you guys really enjoyed this update, I feel like you guys will really enjoy what's to come. So what I'm going to be doing is on this layout with some adjustments, I will be turning this into a full fictional airport, which I'm very excited about. I have decided that this will be a fictional airport to come. So this is just going to, I don't want to say it's your typical aviation Gemini Jets 101 fictional airport, but it kind of is. So what it's going to be, in addition to storyline, which is still going to be here, this will be turning into just a normal fictional airport. It's going to be based in Kansas City, Missouri, and what we're going to be doing from there is progressing it into, it won't progress like this, it's just going to start pretty much this size. I'll even give you guys a teaser of what it's going to look like, but it's going to be fairly similar, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of awesome things that are going to go into it. So first and foremost, these tables, I'm going to move back here. This table is going to be gone so I can have this full layout, and I'll explain how I'm doing it because trust me, I know it's going to lose some room, but it'll be very well worth it. So these tables are going to be going back here. Lighting will come in great. As you can tell, it's summer right now. This video is coming out in August, so it's still like this. But nevertheless, sun comes in from there during that season, and it'll come in from here during that season. It'll get both sides pretty good. So it won't be absolutely perfect, but this side's been blocked off the whole season, and it was because this table is why everything had to move, because I'm pretty sure I had it on tables here for a period of time. I know I had it on the ground there for the longest time, but I think I had it on tables that way, and I moved it this way because of this, which kind of screwed us up. But nevertheless, we got it done and all that Mickey Mouse. So that worked out very well. But nevertheless, what the future holds is this just going to be turning into a nice fictional airport, but I'm really excited because it's going to give me the opportunity to show a lot of the planes that I haven't got to show, which is very exciting, but it's also not going to be rushed like this. It's just going to be a casual vibe, if that makes sense. It'll kind of be like storyline, but just casual. We'll have some cool notices and all that fun stuff, but it'll just be a nice, simple fictional airport updates. And I'm excited to get back to this because I want to use this setup more. I want to have it in interesting things. It won't just be dull. There'll be some interesting concepts to it. Sure, it won't be near as interesting as storyline, for instance, but it'll still be very interesting. So let me tell you guys what I'm planning to do. This concourse right here is actually going to be full international, which I think will be really cool. So we're actually going to have all these carriers, pretty much all the Canada and Mexico operations right here, and then all these internationals around, which I think will make for a very cool landside terminal right there with terminal, I think I'll call it D, because like Houston, Charlotte, Dallas, it's all D, so I think we have to do D for that one. This terminal will probably be C or B. This will end up being half Southwest and half low cost. So pretty much everything at this concourse is going to move over here, and I'll tell you guys why. Because I don't want it to be exactly like storyline. I could keep this format, but I want to make it interesting. So full international, This is going to be low cost pretty much. I'm either going to do one of two things here. So first off, it's going to be over here now. So this concourse will still be kind of similar to this. It may be changed up a little bit. I may experiment with some things, but I'm either going to do one of two things. I'm going to either put a concourse piece here or one there, and I'm going to extend it completely. And this concourse will turn into half Delta, half United is what I'm thinking right now, so I can show the whole fleet of them. So we'll have half the Delta planes on one side and half the United planes on the other. And then envision that there's just a bunch of room right here. Here and here, I'm going to put tables, either one or two of them, and then I'm going to put one of those concourses, pretty long concourse, or some design I haven't decided, maybe like the Pittsburgh X or something would be kind of cool. But that's going to be your Terminal A, and that's going to be all American because you guys knew that that was already coming. Come on now. So it'll be American, then we'll have the hangar, FBO. FBO may be right there, actually. I've not decided. FBO may be there, maybe a facility of sorts, and possibly one more runway. I have not decided, but obviously we have our main two here. So it's going to be very exciting because I was kind of in a rut with these last two updates because I didn't want to decide if I wanted to teaser towards the fictional side of things or if we need to keep it in storyline realms. And that's where we're going to break off. The big airport side of things will be just fully fictional, while the realism side of things will be awesome in the connotation of storyline. So I'm really excited for it. I hope you guys are too. It's been something I've been looking very forward to. I'm really excited to see it. So yes, I'll do 3 updates to start with. If it's well received, we'll continue. If not, I may do it, you know, like every other month or something. But I'm really excited. It'll give me an opportunity to debut so many of those models over there that were not realistic for this connotation. And it'll be a lot of interesting twist to it. And yes, but guys, you have to keep in mind that this is an addition. It's not like, hey, I'm just going full fictional airport. There's no other content. We still have our 10 realistic airports operating right now. Dallas, Tulsa, everything. Not going to go over the list. You guys know it. We'll have Storyline Season 3, of course. And then hopefully at some point, I really hope I'm able to get the Richmond Model Airport and San Jose Model Airports constructed. And I hope to also do some additional projects in the future. But at this time, I'm looking to focus on those and then kind of branch out to when we're ready to do other projects. So nevertheless, I really hope you guys are excited for that plan. It's going to be a blast, and expect the first update probably in September. I don't think I'll forward it up to August. I might, have not decided, but expect it in September, and then Storyline Season 3 hopefully sometime this fall. But nevertheless, I really hope you guys enjoyed Season 2 of Storyline. It's very bittersweet. I think it was a very successful season, especially in the first like 12 episodes. I apologize that these last 3 were kind of different, to say the least. But I hope you guys are understanding of the reasons. And it was kind of tough because all of that realization to realism kind of got me screwed up. And then, of course, mono, along with the airport just growing. All those factors really pitched in, but I'm really excited. And then in addition to that, the reason that I'm choosing to do fictional rather than storyline on such a big map, like I mentioned, I talked about it a lot in the previous video, is sure, I could make this storyline, it's big and everything, and it's just hard to keep the realism aspect. So in a fictional airport, it won't be near as hard to manage that realism because it won't be quite as realistic, of course. I don't have near enough GSC and all that, and you guys know that. So we'll manage around it though nicely. I'm really excited for it. I hope you guys are too. It's going to be a blast. I'm so excited for what's to come, and I hope you guys are as well. So with all that being said, that will do for Season 2 of Storyline, everybody. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. What an awesome season it was. I'm so excited for what's to come. I hope you guys are too. It's going to be a blast. I really hope you guys are excited for what's to come. So with all that being said, that will do for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.